Julie, I just heard from Robbie. He said you're going to the Dominican Republic for your honeymoon.
Oh, hi, Margaret. That's right. We decided on the Dominican. We didn't want to go anywhere that took a long time by plane, but if we go to the Dominican Republic, we can get there in about 4 hours.
That's great. I can't sit on a plane for long periods of time either. Thanks for choosing a place that isn't too far for us.
Huh?
I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun. I think I want to give snorkeling a try. I've been waiting to try it for a long time now.
Margaret, are you planning on going to the Dominican as well? With us?
What are you talking about? Of course I am. I'm going with you guys.
You're going with us? On our honeymoon?
Yeah, it's fine, isn't it? You know, now that my husband is gone, I'm going to be moving in with Robbie and you. So I think it'd be good if we all took a trip together before then, just to get to know each other better. Besides, I hear that a lot of couples get into fights on their honeymoons, so I'll be there to moderate. If I see that you two are starting to get on each other's nerves, I'll make sure to put a stop to it before any feelings get hurt.
Well, Rob knows about this, right? I mean, about you coming along on his honeymoon?
Well, obviously, he was the one who told me where we're going.
Oh, I see. I understand now.
Why? You don't have something against me coming on a trip with you, do you?
Well, no. If it was a regular trip, I wouldn't mind so much, but I've just never heard about anyone bringing their mother or mother-in-law along on their honeymoon before. I'm just a little surprised, that's all.
Well, your expectations are your expectations. That doesn't dictate what our family does. All three of us are going on this vacation. Let's use this trip as an opportunity for you and I to get closer.
Okay, I understand. Oh, sorry, Margaret. One of my coworkers is calling me. I have to get back to work.
What? In the middle of your lunch break? They work you too hard at that place. You take care of whatever that is. I'll look into some great spots in the Dominican we can go to.
Hey, Rob, why the heck is your mother coming with us on our honeymoon? This is the first I've heard of this.
Oh, that. Mom just suddenly told me about that too.
What do you mean she suddenly told you? Put a stop to this. Why would your mom come with us on our honeymoon?
Huh? Oh, why not? What's wrong with that? I love my mom. I don't mind if she comes.
That's not the point. I love my mom too, but that doesn't mean I want her to come with me on my honeymoon. I thought for sure this would just be the two of us.
Sorry, I thought you'd be okay with this.
If it was just a regular trip, I wouldn't mind so much if she came with us, but a honeymoon is supposed to be a special trip for just the husband and wife.
Really? So it'd be better if it was just the two of us?
Well, of course. Hey, do you think it'd be okay if we went on a different trip with her instead another time after our honeymoon? She's going to be moving in with us, right? I was really hoping before then that you and I would be able to have some alone time together.
That's not possible. She's really looking forward to this trip. There's no way I can tell her she can't come now.
Well, what about me? I was really looking forward to this trip too.
What's the big deal? My mom's going to be there, but it's still going to be our honeymoon. What's wrong with that? What's the issue?
Fine, I get it. So why don't I invite my parents to come too? That should be fine, right?
No, that's just... I think you should be a little more considerate of my feelings.
What? So you don't care about my feelings, but when it comes to something you don't like, I have to be considerate? Aren't you being a little selfish?
Okay, I get it. We just got married. I don't want to start fighting over such a simple little thing. Your parents can come with us on a different trip. We'll consider that trip our second honeymoon. So let's just not worry about it this time, okay?
You're impossible. But I agree with the fact that I don't want to fight with you about this. But I want you to at least talk to your mom about this one more time for me. Stress that it's our honeymoon and see if she really thinks she should be tagging along.
No problem, I'll do that. But don't expect much. I'm sorry. Look, I'll take care of the schedule and all the bookings. Don't worry about a thing. I'll make sure we can get plenty of alone time together. So please forgive me.
Okay. And when you get home, don't forget that you promised to go on a trip with my parents too. Rob, are you still in your room? Breakfast is over now. You completely missed it. I haven't seen your mom come down here either. What's going on? Good morning, Margaret. You and Rob haven't left your room yet. What's going on? Where are you right now?
We're back in the States already.
Huh? In the States? You mean you've flown home already? You kidding, right?
Nope, we arrived back in America this morning. Rob is really tired, so he's sleeping right now.
Hold on a second. I don't understand. What's going on here? Are you saying you two left me here and flew back home without me?
Well, we planned on coming back today. We tried to tell you, but I guess you were sleeping.
No. I'm not a heavy sleeper. I never heard anyone knocking on my door, and there's not a single message from either of you on my phone.
We called your name from outside your door this morning at about 3 a.m. We asked if you wanted to come home a little earlier with us or not, but we never got an answer from you. So you'll have to fly back by yourself. Oh, wait, you don't have any money. I guess you won't be able to fly back today. It seems I accidentally took your wallet and flew all the way back here. I'm sorry.
What the heck are you talking about? You took my wallet? What were you planning? How am I supposed to get back to America now? Rob had all of the plane tickets in his suitcase. Now I don't have my plane ticket and I don't have any ID.
I don't know. You'll have to think of something.
What? That's your answer? Why would you two do this to me? Was that your plan all along? Take me to the Dominican Republic and leave me here? I should have known something was up when Rob booked 2 rooms and stayed in yours instead of mine.
This is all because you were against me coming with you on the trip.
Pardon me?
Even when it was decided that I would come live with you two, you weren't fond of the idea, were you? Not only that, you tried to get Rob to stop me from coming on your honeymoon with him, didn't you? You married into our family and you think you can tell us what we can and can't do? You not only went against my son, you also went against me. How dare you? That's why we did this to you. Let's just call it training to make you a good wife.
What?
You'll learn soon enough not to go against me or my son. If you do, this is what'll happen. I think you've just learned a valuable lesson, don't you? If you do as you're told from now on, we'll have no more problems. It doesn't feel so good to be left all alone in a foreign country, does it? If you go against us, things like this happen. So don't ever think of doing it again.
I'm shaking in my boots.
As you should be. Getting left in a foreign country with no ticket home and no money. So what are you going to do now, huh?
Now you've pissed me off. I can't believe this. You butt your way into our honeymoon and your son decides to stay with you instead of with me. And then on the last day of the trip, you two not only take the earlier flight without me, you don't say a word to me about it, and you take my ticket and wallet and strand me here. Both of you are horrible people.
What's this? Talking bad about us now? You're not thinking about going against us again, are you? Robbie's got quite the troublesome little wife, huh?
If you think this is somehow training for me, I don't even want to think of what you have planned in the future. There's no way we're living together. And don't think for a second I'll forgive Rob for going along with you on this instead of trying to stop you. I can't believe you two would do such a terrible thing. I see divorce just over the horizon.
Ha! Divorce? You plan on damaging my son's reputation? I won't forgive you for that. And this quickly? His boss and co-workers were at the wedding. If he gets divorced this quickly, he'll be a laughingstock at work.
That's only a fraction of what'll happen if I divorce him. So remember that for now, and let him know that I'm not forgiving him for this.
Julie, delete that post you made on your social media. What's wrong with you?
Do you want something?
Don't play dumb with me. I know you posted. My husband and his mom stole my plane ticket and my wallet and left me in the Dominican. You know, some of my family and friends follow your account. Now everyone's bombarding me with messages trying to find out why you posted that. Edit your post and tell everyone it was a lie.
Why would I do that? It is the truth, isn't it?
My mom is really upset right now. She said everyone's yelling at her on the phone or sending her nasty messages about it. She started crying and I had to turn off her phone so she wouldn't see the nasty messages or get any alerts.
What's your point? She can cry about it if she wants.
That's cold. Why would you be like that towards my mom? You know she's the most important person in my life.
Yeah, I know. More important than me. She raised you your whole life. She's such a great person, isn't she?
Well, if you know that, then why did you do what you did?
Well, obviously, because to me, she's not that great of a person. She came with us on our honeymoon, and even though I told her not to, and when we got separate rooms, you leave me for her. Not only did you two leave me in the Dominican by myself, you took my ticket, my money, and my ID, and you're talking about my behavior for posting what really happened to me on social media? I'm the bad one? Is there something wrong with your head?
I'm sorry about the wallet. I honestly didn't know anything about that.
I don't care. Even if you left me here with my wallet, it wouldn't make what you did okay. You didn't care about me at all. You wouldn't give in and stop your mom from coming with us in the first place. Then, when I mentioned, as a joke, about bringing my parents as well, you started getting all defensive, saying I wasn't thinking about your feelings. Regardless of all that, we came here on our honeymoon, and you made me stay in a hotel room by myself. And on top of that, you went back home without me. You deserted me.
But my mom doesn't know any Spanish. She didn't want to be in a room by herself in case something happened. You know we didn't stay at a resort hotel where everyone speaks English and it caters to Americans. She was scared.
I knew she'd just get in the way if she came along. That's why I didn't want her to come in the first place. And if she was scared to be by herself, why would she come on our honeymoon? Didn't she think that we'd want to be alone on our honeymoon? So why did you agree to it? When you said you'd make sure we had some alone time together, that was a total lie, wasn't it?
Why are you being so mean about all this? You haven't said one positive thing about the honeymoon. At least consider how my mom feels about all this. And it was her first time leaving the country. Consider her feelings.
And who exactly is considering my feelings? This was my first time out of the country, too. You know what? At first, I actually thought you and your mom were good people. But after you and I got married, you both changed. You changed way too much. Your mom already told me. But what is this whole thing about leaving me here by myself being a way of training me to be your wife?
It's obvious. A wife is supposed to listen to her husband and her mother-in-law. A wife is supposed to support her husband, do as he says, and take care of things around the house. You should be staying at home, raising kids, and making sure everything around the house is done. My mom said it was clear that you weren't prepared to do that.
What? Are you two from the Stone Age? And that doesn't even make sense because we both work. We're splitting all the utilities, house payments, and other bills right down the middle, aren't we? So I have to do that. All the housework and do everything you say?
That's now. But in the future, you're going to get pregnant and then you'll start raising your kids. When that happens, you'll quit your job, stay home, and raise them. You'll be sitting at home all day for years, just relaxing. I'll be the only one working then.
You think giving birth to and raising your kids is equivalent to me just relaxing at home? If you're serious about that, then I think you've hit your head somewhere and need to see a doctor.
Well, that's what my mom said.
And you don't have your own opinion on anything? Even if that's what your mom thinks, it's still crazy. She's out of her mind. She should know how difficult it is to have a baby and raise children. She did it at least once, didn't she?
That's right. She raised me every step of the way and made me into the man I am today. It sounds like you're just spoiled. Because of us, you're not alone anymore. You should be thanking me and be grateful that I married you.
Oh, really? Well, I wish you two would have told me exactly what you wanted from me before we got married, because I never thought you were this type of person. I already told your mom, but I'll tell you to make sure you know. I'm considering divorcing you because of this.
Divorce? Why, just because of this? It's no big deal. And I told you it wasn't me who took your wallet.
I can't live with someone who thinks what they did to me is no big deal. I can never trust you again. Anyway, let's talk about it once I get back home. I can't think straight right now with everything that's going on.
How exactly are you gonna get back here?
I was able to get a ticket using my smartphone. All my credit card info was saved on my phone. And luckily I found my passport in my suitcase. Your mother hadn't stolen that, so I have some ID to get on the plane. I'll be getting back home tonight.
Good. See, it wasn't that big of a deal after all, so don't be so hasty with this divorce. Please, I really don't want you to divorce me.
It was you and your mom who made me start thinking about divorce in the first place.
I understand. Sorry. We'll go on a vacation with you and your parents right away, and then you can leave me stranded there if you want. If you do that, we'll be even, right?
Huh? Not even close.
Then what do I have to do to get you to forgive me? I don't want to get divorced, and please delete that post on social media. Julie, I'm begging you.
There's only one thing you can do for me right now. Get my wallet back from that witch and take it over to my parents' house and give it to them. After that, don't you dare think of speaking to me again unless I contact you first. If you can do that, I'll consider not divorcing you. I've got to get ready to get to the airport. I'm done talking to you.
Julie, wait. Are you going to delete that post on social media? I promise I'll do what you asked me to do if you do that.
Julie, are you really considering divorcing Robbie? Come on, won't you reconsider? Margaret, there's no point in you messaging me. No matter what you say to me, I won't be changing my mind. Besides, you don't want a daughter-in-law who doesn't do as you say anyway, do you? I figure you'd be happy that I was divorcing your son.
Robbie's really angry over this. He's blaming the whole divorce on me, and he's considering not letting me move in with him now.
Is that so? I don't know why you're telling me this. It has nothing to do with me anymore.
Don't say that. And if I'm not mistaken, this was caused because you posted what we did to you on the internet, isn't it? It's because of that our family and friends are turning a cold shoulder on both of us.
It sounds like your family and friends are actually good people. Don't forget, I posted that on the internet because you stranded me in another country during my honeymoon, and I didn't post anything that wasn't 100% true. So make sure you get your facts straight before you try to blame me.
If you had gone on your honeymoon right after getting married instead of waiting, I may not have gone with you. So this might not have happened.
So now you're blaming what you did on our work schedules and financial situation?
Well, no, but come on, you haven't even been married to Robbie for 6 months. Don't you think it's a little too soon to get a divorce? It sounds to me like you just don't have any patience.
You can think that if you want. It's clear to me that I just don't have the ability to judge character very well. I'll be much more careful of who I date from now on and how close to their mother they are.
But there's always issues with couples when they get married. It's normal. There's always unsuspected things that pop up. You're supposed to overcome those things together. That's how you grow stronger as a couple.
I'm sorry. Nothing you're saying is resonating with me. This conversation clearly isn't going anywhere, so why don't we just end it there?
Julie, please understand.
If I divorce Rob, it's gonna look bad on him. I know that's the only reason you're trying to get me to stay with him. I can see that you don't care about me or my feelings at all. Rob still hasn't apologized to me for what he did. So I believe from the bottom of my heart that my decision to divorce him is the correct one.
Julie, Robbie said if you end up divorcing him over this, he'll never speak to me again. What am I supposed to do? Robbie is my whole reason for living. Up until this incident, things were going great.
That's not my problem. You and Rob brought this all on yourselves.
I'm begging you, please reconsider.
I'm not going to. If you were in my place, what would you do? I thought I'd finally met someone who wanted a serious relationship and who had a clear vision for their future, but it turned out that he only did what his mother told him to do. He brought you on our honeymoon, and he stayed with you instead of with me. That alone proves to me exactly what he thinks of me. Then you decided to steal my wallet and leave me stranded there, and he goes along with that too.
I told you we were just trying to train you.
That's the other thing. You keep saying you want to train me. If there was something you didn't like about me, you should have just come out and said it. Instead, you two secretly plot against me and to do that horrible thing. And just because Rob does whatever you say doesn't mean his wife is some tool for you to use however you want.
I was doing it for Robbie. Julie, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Don't hold what I did to you against my Robbie.
There's no doubt in my mind that you've had some effect on his thinking. But Rob is in his late 20s. He should be able to think for himself and know if what someone else suggests is a good idea or not. I can't blame all of this on you. Rob is just as much to blame.
Don't say that. Robbie told me that if I could get you to call off the divorce, he'd consider letting me move in with him. I'm at the end of my rope here.
So if I call off the divorce and stay with Rob, I get to live with you? You make it sound so tempting. And it gives me the chills thinking that he tried to get you to talk me out of divorcing him, instead of having the balls to try to do it himself. If you want to train your daughter-in-law, there's something you need to do before that. You need to train your son first. After that, I officially divorced Rob. He was against it right up to the very end, but he was even more against me writing things about him on my social media pages. So he finally agreed to sign the divorce papers if I deleted everything I posted about him. It seems that his own reputation was more important than my love. Now I know I made the right decision to divorce him. We weren't married for very long, so I really didn't get much from him in the divorce, but just being away from those two was more than enough to make me satisfied. As for Rob and his mom, their relationship went downhill real fast. Rob blamed his mom for the divorce, and he wouldn't forgive her. His mom came to his house every day to try to get him to forgive her and to let her move in with him, but I heard that he kept yelling at her and sending her away. And Rob had been giving his mom money every month to help her with her bills. But now that he holds her responsible for his current situation, he stopped helping her with that. Things seem to be really tough for her now. Everyone knows Rob was divorced because he deliberately stranded his wife in another country. So now everyone's opinion of him has changed, and he's not well liked anymore. Neither Rob nor his mother seem to be doing very well anymore. His mom might have been right about me, and the fact that I maybe don't have enough patience, but you can bet I'm going to be a lot more patient in the future. I'm going to take things much slower and be a lot more selective about the people I date. And you can bet I'm not going to jump into marriage without getting to know that guy's family quite well first. Then, if everything still seems fine, I'll have to take a trip with the guy and invite his mother along to see which room the guy decides to sleep in. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. See you next time. Hey, Devin, did you screw up again at work? How many times has it been this month now? Get your act together. Seriously, give me a break.
Nancy, I don't need to hear this right now from you too. I'm feeling bad enough as it is.
Well, you're getting what you deserve.
No, honestly, it wasn't my mistake.
What do you mean?
There was nothing wrong with what I wrote at my stage. It was someone later down the line that rewrote some things in that report. It should have been that person who got in trouble. But because I was the one in charge of the project, it got pinned on me. No matter what I said or how I explained it to them, they didn't care. They said it was my problem because I was in charge. Oh, this really sucks.
If you just try to put the blame on someone else, you won't learn from the experience. You should take it like a man and admit to your mistake. It was your project, right?
I get it. It's just that recently, no matter what I do...
You know what? Because you chose to have us live in a company apartment in the company housing complex, if my husband screws up, it makes me look bad too. Everything we do comes back on each other. Even though I don't work for your company, I'm always around its employees and they all know me.
I know. I'm not happy about what happened.
What I'm trying to say is, if you screw up again, I'm going to divorce you.
Huh?
I can't take it anymore. Plus, your manager's wife, Mrs. Ortiz, is complaining about me again.
She's not the type to complain about something if there isn't a problem.
What is this? Are you taking her side now?
It's not that. It's just... Before she retired, she helped train me and helped me get to where I am today. You're always telling her that whatever she says is wrong, even when she's clearly right.
She's just acting all high and mighty because she's in charge of the company housing. She's acting like my landlord, and she complains about every little thing I do around here. She thinks she's so great, but she's not.
Back when she was an employee here, she was loved by all the other employees, male or female.
Oh, I don't care about that. She shouldn't get on my back about something that isn't my fault.
Well, people are on my back right now for a mistake that wasn't mine, and you told me I should own up to it.
I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, by the way, I'm not coming home tonight.
Where are you going?
What does it matter to you? Just stay out of my business.
Hey, hold on here.
You're just gonna be upset and thinking about work all night anyway. Bye.
Hey, Nancy.
Oh, what's this? The person that made another huge mistake at work and got fired wants to talk to me.
I know all about what's been happening up to this point. You're with the owner of the company, Mr. Sanders, aren't you? You've been cheating on me this whole time. Leave it to you to do something like this behind my back.
So you finally figured it out. You're not too sharp, so it was pretty easy. Dilly is so smart. He was right about you.
Dilly?
That's what I call Dylan. You know, Mr. Sanders, the company owner. It's my pet name for him. By the way, he calls me Nanny.
That's disgusting. I don't care what you call each other.
Like I said before, the next time you screw up at work, I'm divorcing you. So I expect you to sign those divorce papers for me now. If you try to make the divorce difficult, I won't be paying you compensation money.
I need that money. That compensation money will make up for the loss the company's taking from me because of my mistake. I'm not going to have anything left for myself. I know you did this to me on purpose. None of these mistakes were really mine. You two were setting me up the whole time. You're so mean, both of you.
Huh? You're the victim here, so you should be happy you're not going to end up in debt because of it.
I'm not the victim just because you were cheating with the owner of the company. You might have caught me in your trap, but I'm not getting anything, nor am I really losing anything, so... Anyway, I'll make the divorce easy for you.
Oh, how about that? I'm so happy. As long as I can marry Dilly, then everything's all right. And that means you're left all by yourself. Oh, this is great. Hey, so tell me, how does it feel? You got fired from work, and you lost me, all on the same day. You've lost everything. How does it feel?
Oh, don't worry about me. You should be more worried about yourself. Dylan got divorced at 41, and he's been single ever since. He's 48 now and still single. Do you have any idea why?
Oh, that. Well, obviously, it's because he was in love with me.
Is that what Dylan told you?
That's right. The year I married you, there was that company barbecue we went to. When was that? About 5 years ago? I only went because you were allowed to bring your family, and you basically dragged me there. I'm glad I went now, though. I guess I was only 24 back then, but that's the first time I met your boss, Dylan. It was love at first sight. We exchanged contact info that day, and just 1 month later, he and I were...
You started cheating right after we got married, and you've been doing it for 5 years. So that's why we didn't have any children, huh? You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Oh, of course! If we had kids, it would have been a pain in the butt to divorce you. I'm so happy now. I can have Dylan's babies. I'll have as many as he wants me to. And I'll finally be the wife of a successful business owner. That Mrs. Ortiz thinks she's so great, but her husband is just a high-ranked manager. Soon I'll be even better than her. My husband will be the owner of the whole company.
Oh, so that's what this is about. Look, I don't want to see you again, so I already filled out the divorce papers and gave them to Dylan to give to you. Just sign them and submit them. I'm sure you'll see Dylan soon.
Oh, wow, you're on the ball for once.
I ran to City Hall on my lunch break to get the divorce papers. I want to cut all ties to a snake like you as fast as I could.
Oh, say whatever you want about me. I'll get over the papers and sign them after work when I see Dylan. I'll submit the papers tonight. You can submit paperwork to the City Hall even when they're closed.
Oh, well, that's great then. You're not going to be coming back to the company housing apartment, right? I'm going to be moving my stuff out this week, so I'll leave everything else up to you and the company.
Okay. Well, goodbye. Devin? How are you doing?
What?
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
What do you want?
Please don't be so cold with me, okay?
4 years ago, who was the one being really cold when they screwed over the other?
I'm so sorry for that. You know, I'm thinking about getting divorced.
Really?
When you told me back then that I should be the one who's worried, I know what you meant by that now. Dilly's first wife couldn't stand how bad her mother-in-law treated her, so she left Dilly.
Yeah, so I can only guess that Dylan's mother has set her sights on you now?
Yeah. On top of that, I'd already been divorced once when I married Dylan. She won't let up about that. And I've only given birth to daughters. So she's really angry at me because she doesn't have a grandson to be the heir to Dylan's company. And Dilly is so busy trying to save his business that he's no time to help me deal with her. Everything's in shambles.
I see.
Hey, you know that Dilly's company is about to go bankrupt, right?
Yeah, I know.
I heard you're doing really well where you are now. You've been promoted a bunch of times, haven't you?
I guess. I'm the sales director for the whole company now.
You managed to climb that high up after getting fired just 4 years ago. That's amazing.
So what?
I was thinking, I'll let you get back together with me.
What?
You're doing so well now. You deserve a wife, don't you? How about me? I have experience being a business owner's wife.
Hell no. Not even if you were the last person on Earth.
But this time we can have children together. Apparently I get pregnant really easily. Conception won't be a problem at all. I can have your child right away.
I've had more than enough of you already.
Don't say things like that, Kay.
I'm already married and I have children, so...
What? You're kidding.
I have to ask, judging by the way you're acting, you have no idea why your husband's company is doing so poorly, do you?
Huh?
Well, it all started 4 years ago. After I got fired, Mr. Ortiz left too, didn't he?
Yeah?
And then, after that, more and more employees left, didn't they?
I don't know the details, but I think I heard that a lot of families started leaving the company housing complex around that time, yes? Why? Do you know something about it?
Mr. Ortiz started his own company.
What? His own company?
Yeah, in direct competition with Dylan's company.
In competition with him?
Dylan was jealous of Mr. Ortiz because Mr. Ortiz was so good. It made him feel inferior. He was keeping Mr. Ortiz down and wasn't using him to his full potential. Mr. Ortiz knew that with an owner like Dylan, the company's future wasn't looking too good.
He knew this was going to happen to Dilly's business.
When all those employees quit Dylan's company, they did it because they wanted to work for Mr. Ortiz's company. Honestly, he offered me a job at his new company just before I got fired. Of course, he hadn't exactly started his company at that time, but he was close.
Really?
I was going to tell you, but that was right when all this stuff with you started happening. I got fired and you divorced me.
I had no idea.
Well, I figured there was no reason to tell you after all that.
But for him to go from being a department manager to getting an entire business off the ground and doing so well in that amount of time, he must be amazing, don't you think?
He's the best I've ever seen. He's always been the top performer. He's got a great attitude and everyone loves him. Along with me and my staff, our clients had tremendous faith in us. With that base, we were able to build up his business together quite quickly. And at the same time, word of Dylan sleeping with his employee's wife and stealing a married woman, well, that news spread around pretty quickly. His reputation among all of his clients went down pretty fast.
Ah, that?
Dylan had lost all goodwill he had with his clients, and one by one, they moved over to our company. They wanted a company they could trust, full of people with good reputations.
So then, what about Mrs. Ortiz?
Oh, that's right. Well, she's still married to Mr. Ortiz, so right now she's not only the wife of a successful business owner, she's the wife of the #1 business owner in the whole city in this industry.
I can't believe this. You're lying, she can't be. After I waited so long to marry Dilly, I was supposed to be the wife of a successful business owner. I thought I'd beat her. I was supposed to be better than her.
It's like you're living under a rock.
Huh?
You have no idea what's going on in the world around you.
What?
Let me put it in words even you can understand. You're not cut out to be the wife of anyone successful.
How dare you?
What? You think you can argue that? Think about it and you'll see that there's one main reason why Dylan's company went under.
You don't mean... You're terrible.
Oh, and one more thing. It's already been decided that Mr. Ortiz's company is taking over Dylan's company.
A takeover?
Well, let's be nice and call it a merger. So Dylan is going to be stepping down as owner.
You're lying.
Don't worry. We found a new position for him for the time being. But because of everything that's happened with him so far, he's only going to be making 1/5 of his old salary.
It's going down that much?
And because of this merger, not too long from now, Mr. Ortiz and I will be heading over your way. I suggest you prepare yourself. After that, we merged with Dylan's company. At first, the employees from Dylan's company were worried about how they'd be treated, seeing as they were being absorbed into another company. But many of the employees from Dylan's company remembered who Mr. Ortiz was when they saw him. After meeting with the employees and discussing things with them a few times, the atmosphere in their office lightened up and it was back to business as usual. Dylan had inherited his company from his father, and because he wasn't able to maintain it, he felt a lot of guilt over what had happened. And he had a change of heart. However, Nancy didn't. She readily handed over custody of her daughters to Dylan and divorced him. She immediately started looking for another man with lots of money to marry, but with her attitude, along with the fact that she'd been divorced twice already and had some children, I don't know how much luck she'll have with that.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button. See you next time.